And welcome back to the git-python development stream. As you can see, in preparation for the next release 0.3.5, there are just a few issues left, and it's actually not three because that's kind of, it's not a biggie. It's actually just these two. So which ones? Something tells me that hooks probably is easier to implement, so I'm going for for the easy one first. And let's have a look. Hooks, all right. Repo index commit does not run hooks. Okay, that's very concise, very short. Still, it's totally right because it doesn't run hooks. That's totally true. Previously, index commit, I think it didn't even exist, and if you want to commit, you basically use the git command itself, which of course runs hooks. But then I've re-implemented this using Python, and I skipped the hook part altogether, which I basically right here. And yeah, for consistency, I believe it should indeed run hooks. So we just have to implement this. Let's have a look. What commit says here. Write tree, create a commit from a tree. Quite concise. So I guess what we could do is to, I would just put the code here and have a little function that allows me to run a hook of a specified name, and that is it basically. So as usual, we can spy into the source code of Git and see how they run it or how they do it. Run hook LE, run hook VE, git run hook. Oh look, there's a command for this. Is this a LED? What is this? EL, Emacs. Oh, all right. I have no idea what that is. Contribution Emacs, some Emacs plugin. That's probably not what we want. Samples, fine. Some tests for the hooks. Git hook text. Yeah, probably it's a good idea to have that open. And move on. And I just want some code where it actually runs these, and I was hoping that maybe there is a git command line tool that allows me to run it through the command line. This would be the kind of fastest way to do that. Oh, there's a Go program even. Ooh, nice. Whatever that does. Persistent HTTPS socket server. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's have a look at these functions. Git run hook. Oh yeah, that was another. That was Erlang maybe. So let's not use that one. It also has dashes, right? And C you wouldn't ever have dashes in a in a symbol name, so I could have kind of known that myself. Run commit hook. Yeah, let's just use one of these. How do they do it? Because if we implement this, we can implement it right. At least try to. Let's see if I read this correctly. Reading C code is always kind of a bit, it's less direct. You have to think more. If that would be written in Python, it would be kind of half the amount of code and probably much easier to read. But anyway, let's try to do this. Run hook VE, so that's basically what we want here. Okay, so the git editor is supposed to be passed. Git editor environment variable is supposed to be passed there. Hook environment. So that's just strings, I suppose. At max 3. All right. and it's initialized with null. Fine, I think that's how he then goes through the array and figures out where it ends. Or it's hard-coded to know it's 3 in size. I don't know, I have to check this function. I will do so in a moment. Name of the hook and argument. Where do the arguments come from again? Come on. Okay, so you can pass any amount of arguments basically to the run commit hook even. Do they do this? Is this just some feature that nobody ever uses, or do they use it? Let's see how that looks like. Prepare commit. Oh, there are actually lots of things that are run here. Gee, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have looked here. Okay. We have pre-commit. And then we have prepare commit message. Do we always do this? Prepare commit message. And then there are hook args even. Where does that come from? Oh man. Prepare commit message, if it really does what I think it does, then I don't think we need it. Hook arg. If there is a message. Okay, now I see. So prepare commit message. Probably then prepare commit message sample. And what does it do? The name of the file that has the commit message, followed by the description of the commit message source. So the purpose is to edit the commit message file. I see. So we don't have that. We don't, in git-python there is no file that we would write in order for such a script to, or in order for it to be edited by such a script. I mean, in a way, you know, if you do a commit, then you prepare the commit message yourself. And yeah. I think I would skip that one, even though I'm not totally conforming there. But yeah, in case of git-python, I believe it's the right thing to do, at least for now. You know, it's the right thing to do until somebody tells you that it's not the right thing. And then I would say, yeah, it's kind of true. And then I implement it. Until then, I will not implement it. I think that's how my brain works in that case. That's how I'm thinking about it. Okay, so there's this, what we skip. Commit message. A commit message hook, really? And then a post commit hook. Maybe I'm getting this wrong here. There's this git commit. Alright, so this post commit hook runs here, and then there is this prepare to commit that does the pre-commit, and so on and so on. Okay, and this returns an integer. Okay, so let's check the run hook, because that's actually what we are really interested in. Run hook. VE it uses, huh? What's the difference between VE and LE? VE, variable argument list, and LE is kind of a implicit list there. So I think VE might be the one that actually gets called, but who knows? I will see. Find hook. Okay, builds a path, tries to access it. If it can't be accessed, then it's not a hook. And what I'm interested in is how it figures out how it is supposed to be executed. So here's this environment. I think that's something we should possibly get right as well. And then run command, and then start command, and finish command. So does start command check if it's an executable? So should I mean, maybe I just don't care. Huh? Maybe I just try to run a file. And if it doesn't run, then, well, then it doesn't run. But how on Windows, where hooks will never kind of run because there's no such thing as a shebang and automated interpreter execution, you know. So, well, how does start command work then? Run command.c start command. All right, prepare input and output channels, and then where is it actually being run? Did I miss this now? Oh, wow. There's the Windows part. Ugh. Oh, I really hate this Windows stuff. So annoying. Because it, I don't start or think about this here. Let's see, maybe in Python this isn't as bad, and Python does that for me, so let's not freak out over this. Let's just have a look at the POSIX implementation here and see how it does it. I think in the end just spawns a command here. Okay. Silent execution failure. I think that's something that these guys possibly do, huh? Silent execution failure. Where is it set? Is it set anywhere? It's part of the options. Yeah, I mean, probably I don't wanna, you know, if execution fails, I just don't care. Okay, I mean, long story short, this probably overcomplicates things. It's important, I mean, compared to what's gonna be in Python then. So I think we shall be fine by just doing a subprocess p open and, you know, just run this thing. If the respective file exists and if it's executable, maybe I check that as well. Yeah, why not? Even though I don't know how that will work out on Windows, especially because excuse me, especially because on Windows executable bits don't really exist. And how was this? I think here in run, and this run command thing, get command, how is it called again? Find hook. Where's find hook? Is it here? Find hook. Because this guy just checks for existence basically. Doesn't care about anything else. So I will do the same. I will just do the same. Okay. Good enough. And probably I should figure out what it does here. It sets the git index file environment variable. That's what I have to do. I will skip on the git editor part because it doesn't matter to us. It actually sets it 0 here, huh? Editor is not used. How do I know if editor is not used? Use editor. How does it know that? Use editor is 1 by default. Okay. And then it launches an editor. Yeah, so what does it do there? Does it have optional use message? Okay, so it's basically if you commit and you provide the message on the command line, then it turns off the use editor. flag, which makes sense. So again, do we ever need this? I don't think so. And it sets, I mean, it doesn't even provide that information, right? If editor is not used, it will explicitly set the editor to Cullen actually. So maybe we do the same thing because we don't use the editor. That's at least something I can do so these scripts kind of get what they expect. That sounds good enough. That sounds fair. Okay. Okay, git index file and git editor. And that's pretty much it. That's all we need. And then it's two hooks. The post commit hook and the pre-commit hook. That's what we do. Good. Now implementing this. Git index, index commit. What other hooks are they, by the way? Git hooks, patch, commit message, post receive, post commit, post update. Post update is something we might want to have too, I guess. Post commit. Okay, I don't want to digress. One hook after the other, right? Prepare packed repository for use over dump transport. I don't think we do this because we use Git facilities to do all these push and fetches. So, oh wait, but the update might be the same thing. Yeah, receive pack. No, that's not for us. So it's basically just the commit stuff. Pre-commit and post-commit. That's what we want. Fine. Where to put the code? Is there index fun? Yes. Let's just have a look. Do we put into fun or into util? Yeah, probably post clear cache. Yeah, I put it into fun. Oh, like this. Run a hook. Yeah, I just make a generic method here. Even though, yeah, let's make run commit hook because right now we have no reason to make it more special. I don't think we have to pass any arguments except for index file. The index file path because we want to prepare the environment to use it accordingly. Yeah, and I will have to look at this Windows implementation that Git uses because I really want to know how they do it. I mean, just executing executable is easy enough on Windows as well, but then scripts can't be used. And this is really, probably it wants to use a shell and then starts the file to use kind of operating system facilities to do this. For instance, on Windows, if a Python file is associated with the Python interpreter, then you can double click it in the Explorer or use the start command in the command shell to just run it the way it's supposed to be. So I guess that's the kind of way you would do it then on Windows. And yeah, let's see how that goes. I would be willing to implement this like a special case for Windows because it should still be simple enough. Even though I don't like it to have these Windows special cases all the time just because Windows is what it is. All right. So should raise something. It should raise an error if the error code of the hook indicates that. So what kind? Sorry, it should raise an exception. What kind of exception? Hook error, maybe? Do we have git command error, no such path error, checkout error, cache error, unmerged entries error? Okay. Let's just have another error then that is a hook error. And why is there a space here all the time? Why is that? That's not the first time I'm seeing this. Did I do that at some point? Okay. Let's hook execution error. Something like that. Ugh. I should have closed this. Okay. And actually we want pretty much the same thing here. And in a way I would like to use the code that I already have in the git command implementation, because it deals with all the nitty-gritty details of executing something. Maybe I should just use OSPOpen or something very simple. No std error, yeah. I will use std out in the command code and that's it, so that I can keep it really, really simple. Really as simple as possible here. Nothing special. Thrown. Okay. Something like this. Should I provide the command here? Why not? Like this. Okay, there we are. Do I want to override string or something? To print something nice? Yes, I want to do that. Could be so much nicer if that just works. Oh, we're not writing C here this time. Okay. I kind of copy returned with, can call it hook. Return with exit code I, and then std out is, do we put a new line here? Yeah, why not? Std out is this one. Okay, self command, self status, self std out. Could be an empty string, that's fine. We'll just put it there. We'll have empty quotation marks if std out is indeed an empty string. Std error we don't care about right now. There I say, well, you know what? Why not? Why not? Who cares? And then we do it like this. Another new line. And I just put it in there, and it's mainly for debugging, right? For knowing what went wrong. Something like this. Okay. And to make Flake happy. Hey. Is that not valid? No? Do you want parentheses here? Yes? Okay, there we go. That should work. Hook execution error. Okay, let's use this here. Git exe unmerged entries error. Hook execution error. Thank you. Okay. Run commit hook. Raises hook execution error. And it just stands for itself, right? The one who wants to know what that is can look up the class definition and see what it's there for. Okay. Oh, and actually I need some more information. Maybe I take the index here. Burn name of hook, like pre-commit, and the index file instance. That should be sufficient, because then we can actually figure out where we are and build a path to the hook that we want to execute. Oh yeah, there's the repo, and from there we can do what we have to do. So it's in, do we have OS here already? Probably not. No. Because we need to do some path conversions here, building some path. So what we need is index repo git dir, that's a Git repository there, and put in the hooks and put in the name, and what we get is the hook path. And yeah, do I have an OS access, by the way, or do I have to do a stat? OS access. Nice. Was that POSIX only? Specified access. Okay, so I can check for executable, for execution right away. So how does that work? X OK, just wants to be accessible. All right. Oh no, X OK is execution OK, huh? Yeah. I think that's test for existence. C F OK. It checks for being executable. Okay. How does that even work on Windows? Because there seems to be no Windows specificness here. Okay. So fine, then I do it like that. Fine. If, oh yeah, let's check it if this even works on Windows. Python OS access. That's a bit sad that in Python it's not clear if it's platform dependent or independent unless you look it up. If you use Go, for instance, then you know that all the methods and functions you can use are actually platform independent. And if there's something that is platform dependent, then you will find it in a module that is clearly platform dependent, which is much nicer than having this kind of, oh, there the function exists, but on the other platform the function doesn't exist stuff that Python does to you. Yeah, just saying. Python is not good. Not really. Available Unix Windows. Awesome, thank you. Makes me happy. And what is return? True or false, fine. Hook path OS X OK. If we can't execute, just return We return nothing here. Fine. So it is executable now, and now we can just execute it. Let's use subprocess for this. Oh yeah, we have to prepare the environment, right? Question. Does it have just a very empty environment here that it passes? Or I mean, how does it do it? Or does it copy the environment that is the one in the current process and then just adds these hook environments? Run hook VE. So where's the environment? And show me how you use it. Yeah, it's always passed. And that's very nice. Constant pointers. So not supposed to change these pointers. Good. So think, no, where was that? In run command, start command. It doesn't even read the environment here. I mean, where does it do that? Maybe I'm missing something. Oh man. Just tell me where you use the environment at all. Because here it forks even on Windows? If and F Windows native, that's the POSIX version. Gee, got that totally wrong first time I read it. I see no X. Oh yeah, it's a pointer, right? Silly me. Here we have environment access. And in the fork, it puts it so, answer to my question, it copies the entire process environment that we have, and then it just overrides these given environment variables to whatever there is. I see. You can also unset environment variables by not specifying an equals there. But does it work that way? I mean, it's alright. I think that finds a character in a string, but then this also means that is it custom put env implementation here that deals with that kind of stuff. Name value, okay, put env is like that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Fine. Now I know. Good. Question answered. Let's go ahead. Let's use subprocess for this. Do it real quick. Just because I can never remember what it wants, I just use it. Use this as a template here. So there's the command. I think the hook path should be sufficient here. Oh yeah, and we should prepare the environment. OS environment copy. And then, yeah, I don't think I have to put this into a separate line just yet. So here's the environment current working directory. We don't change, I suppose. Even though I will have to look that up. Yeah, let's look it up. Because I'm sure that they pass it along. chdir somewhere. If there's a command directory, they do it. Run hook VE. Run hook VE. So they don't really care about this, huh? Child process init. So the dir is the dir, which is what? Awesome. I have to follow multiple preprocessor definitions here. Child process init. Maybe it's like this one. Yeah, I don't think they set it by default. So if they don't set it, then I don't set it either. So it just uses what it uses. Fine. Good enough. Okay, forget the command. Std in shall be none. Std out shall be subprocess pipe. Std error shall also be subprocess pipe. Something else? Shell. Oh yeah, there's this Windows special code that we want to add at some point. Close FDs. Unsupported on Windows, I suppose. It's more like, should be more like, no, I mean shells are supported, unsupported on Windows. Close FDs, close FDs. If this is a fork, it will close existing file descriptors. Yeah, probably we want that. Subprocess, close FDs. Thank you, Google, for figuring out what I probably mean. Yeah, so this is why we do this little dance here, dance around it, because on Windows that doesn't even work. Why does it not work? Who knows? Who cares? We will just live with it. Awesome. So now I've seen this. I do the space here. It's me. And then Flake hates it. It has been me all the time. Gee. Good. Anything else? Shell? Yeah, we will check back with that in a moment. The rest looks fine. Then we say command communicate to finish up everything. I'm not sure if we are supposed to close the handles now, or if they are closed already. But you know what? If it fails, it fails. If not, it's probably not a bad thing to do that. So communicate should finish up everything, and we should have a PID here. So let's, sorry, we should not have a PID anymore. We should have a return code. What was that again? Oh look, it even returns them. And yeah, I think it returns bytes on Python 3 and strings on Python 2. So we want to have it consistently pointing at strings here, so we will just decode it if we have to. And there seems to be a function for this, compat def encoding, that we will just use. Force text, I think it is called. Force text std out with the default encoding, usually UTF-8. That should do what I expect it to do. Okay. Basically now we have all the information that we want, and last but not least, status proc return code. Okay. So wait, the procedure, okay, can be expected to, the process can be expected to be done when communicate finishes or returns. So let's do this. If command return code is not 0, it indicates failure, and we have to raise a hook execution error, which is the hook path as a command, then the return code, then std out and std error. Otherwise, we shall just return 0 or return nothing, just return. Just do nothing else. Actually, this kind of return, I can just not write it there. Last but not least, fix up our environment. Git index. Was it git index file? Or was it git index file? It was. Git index file, and git editor is colon. Fine. Ugh. Git index file shall be index path, maybe index path, yes, like that. Is this a property? It is. Index path, and git editor shall be colon. So that should be pretty close to what the Git source code tells me to do, except we have no Windows handling yet. But in theory, this does something useful. Let's just put this here. Run commit hook. Oops. There we go. And now all I have to do is to put it in. Well, import it and then put it in. From fun, import run commit hook. Let's go to commit. So we do the pre-commit hook before doing anything. Pre-commit, and I think we have to pass ourselves on. Yes, that's all. Fine, if that works, good. And the post commit we only do if that succeeds. We put it here. And yeah, well, question is, if the post commit hook fails, nothing changes really, right? Because the commit is already done and we are not supposed to roll back the commit or anything. But let's verify this. Post commit, does it have any consequence to us if post commit fails? No, it does not. It does not look like it. No, no, no. Wow, amazing. So many files and unlinks there. All right. So let's run another commit hook, which is post commit, and that is it. Let's check flake first, even though that's probably the most unimportant thing here. Oh, tox it is, flake 8. Yes, lots of problems there. I was thinking that. EXC75, trailing white space, that's a very common thing. FunPy66, trailing white space, oh. Those are fixed possibly. Unexpected spaces around keyword 68. Tell me about it. Okay, I can't do this. Good. Maybe now? Happy? Happy. Good. Let's see how happy the tests are. Test index. I think there you will have a commit for sure. And I guess that we run into this now. Yes, because there is no hook really that we could execute. And I suppose we should test that. So we have one commit call here. That must be a repository that we can actually write. Okay. And I think what I want to do is I want to add a pre-commit hook that just fails. Now we have this Windows issue again, that on Windows this will just not work. Therefore I will just test this on POSIX, I suppose, because I have no idea how this works on Windows, but maybe before writing the test, since I have no idea, I should check the Git source code again to figure out what Git does there. If end of Windows native. Oh, I have no idea. It's so great that this is not documented at all here. I mean, read the code and that's it, but what the function does, nobody knows. Unless you read the code, which is probably fair enough, you know, it's probably okay. But also, I don't know if it's that awesome to just generally not write any API documentation here. Of course, there's some stuff written here which is good, but besides that, I'm not overly excited. Okay. Windows native. Prepare shell command. The question is, does it play a role for hooks? It does, because that's the non-native, that's the POSIX stuff basically. And this one is the Windows stuff. Use shell. Is it enabled? Use shell. Oh, where's that again? I thought there was a hook initialization somewhere. No. Hook dot. Well, so use shell is a Is it on by default? Run using shell? Well, fine, it's just part of the opt here. Was it off by default? Run commit hook. Run hook VE. So check the initialization of it. So that just gets a standard child process, and I suppose the shell doesn't exist there. std out to std error redirection. Okay, they put it all together. Fine, I don't do that. Should still be fine. I mean, for Python it's good because you can more easily keep the different output streams separated, because they are separated. Yeah, shell it doesn't use by default, so I suppose start command. So I suppose that doesn't play a role here. Do they use start or something? Run hook VE. Run command. I'm constantly tracing the same. Yeah, it's just start command. There's not more about it. And on Windows I didn't yet see anything special, but maybe the prepare git command on Windows actually does some sort of shell stuff. So let's try that. Prepare shell command? No. Prepare git command. Okay. Nothing special. Also no special shell handling. Okay. Okay, I spent way too much time on that already, I think. So I tell you, I will just test this on POSIX now. And if anybody wants to have that on Windows, he or she shall say so, and maybe I will then implement and test this on Windows. So long, I just don't. Because honestly, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the time. I will not spend time on Windows related stuff anymore unless somebody really requests it. That's kind of my new policy that I set here and now. Good. If OS name is not Windows. By the way, is OS name NT? I always forget. Python OS name. Tell me what it is. NT, yes. Basically, I believe that if it's not NT, we shall be fine. And hook testing. So we're going to put a hook now that will fail. And that shall be totally alright. We'll just make it fail. We will run it in a shell. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, we just built the hook path ourselves here. OS path join index repo git dir, then it's hooks. I can't live with myself. If I duplicate that code, even if it's just that simple, I just can't. Something like that. Ha! Now I do silly things. Remember, yeah, well, let's call it HP then. HP hook path, new function for us. All right, get it here. Git index, import this. Where do we do it? Git index. Nowhere. Okay. Well, there's a first time for everything. Git index util. Fun. Import hook path. Okay. And now we do it the way it's meant to be done. Yeah, I also think I should keep the hook path around because I later want to remove this. Yeah, it's pre-commit that I want to test here. It's good to keep post-commit unset so that we can verify that it works if the hook is not set there. And the index repo git dir, that should be fine. Let me open that for writing. Yeah, we write as text. Let's be very explicit about this so that Python 3 and Python 2 are both happy. And then we put in a little shell script that says user bin env. User bin env, fair enough. And then we want to execute just a bash. Bashes should be existing on most systems, I suppose, except for Windows. But anywhere else, it shall be fine. Maybe let's not do that. Let's just use a shell, because all we do here is a new line, and then we exit with non-zero exit code in order to make this thing fail. And yeah, I could do some printing here just to verify I get this, and yeah, why not? Why not? Echo std out to how was that? Yeah, okay, that's std out. So that I'm stupid sometimes. That should be fine. Then echo std error to 1 shall be redirected to 2. Does that really work? Just checking. It should, but yeah, there we go. So if I hit a less here, I still get this. I think that's still seeing std. Oh, I'm copying this. So it goes to std out and std error. Is this what I'm doing here? Because I've seen it on both channels, right? I see it in the shell, which shows me std error, and I see std out. Oh gee, come on, think hard. How do I close? You know what? Tell me about it. Still kind of. Why the hell do I still get this to std out? I have to close std out for this too. I was never aware that this is the case. This would also mean that I would see it twice if it would really be duplicated, right? So why am I so confused right now? Why am I so confused? I kind of never was aware of this issue. I mean, this seems to be right. Yet what my shell tells me is that this is kind of not right, or this is a feature of Z shell that I wasn't aware of. So let's try that one more time. Ha! Wow, confusing. So now it works as expected. It's a Z shell feature. Damn it. See? If I pipe this to std out now, then this should be empty, but it's not. Okay, probably I took std error now, but anyway, if I pipe it, I should see std error, but I don't because it's on a different channel. And this is what I expected to see. However, if I do this here, I do see std error, which is different behavior. I didn't know that. Fine, fair enough, good, all the confusion for nothing. So I suppose because we're starting a shell here, that this will just be what I expect it to be, which is put the output for channel 1 with std out, put it to the newly opened std error channel, and that's it. Okay, good. So I can actually verify the output there. I put it in. I should close automatically. I could do it like that as well. Then it will definitely close automatically. All right. And now if I commit, I would expect this to fail. And of course I do expect an exception to be thrown, but let's just run this for now. Where is it? Where is it? Maybe it failed already. Test index mutation. Oh. 683. Yeah, because that commit didn't fail. This commit didn't fail. What's going on here? Okay, let's put it in self fail, and this raises hook execution error. That should definitely fail. Do I get some exceptions here? No. From git exe import hook execution error. All right. So now my tests will fail at least, and I can jump in there and see what's wrong. And by the way, of course, I should then unlink that guy. maybe that fails too, huh? Maybe the hooks directory is missing entirely and I didn't even write that file but didn't know, because if that fails, you know, you don't get an exception, I suppose. All right. HP hooks. Tell me. Oh, yeah, sure, it's not executable. Silly me. Ah, I forgot it. chmod HP. Can I use this? Sometimes I should just do these things instead of looking it up before. Yeah, with the path, fine. And then we do an octal representation of 7, 5, 5. Well, it should just be for me, right? 7, 4, 4. Should be good. Actually, it should be just 5, 4, 4, right? Read and execute. I don't care about anything else. Good. So let's see. Now it might fail. Yay! Now we have an exception. And actually, I want to catch this and check the exception, and then I shall be happy. Accept hook execution error as error. Otherwise, raise assertion error. Should have caught a hook execution error. Okay. And yeah, I was thinking there for a moment, what did I want to do? I wanted to check the status, because that one should be 1. I want to check std out, which should be std out. I want to check std error, which should be std error. Okay. Oh yeah, and the command should be the path to the command. Okay. That didn't work. Why? Huh. I'm curious. Error command function hook path. Ha! I messed this one up. Good that I tested it. Good thing. Ha ha ha. I fell into my own pit there. And nobody told me. The linter couldn't tell me because that name existed. And the linter has no idea what kind of type it expects there. Well, because not even Python has an idea what kind of type it expects here as first argument. So yeah, awesome. I just found a bug just by writing a good test case. And I found another bug. Maybe forced text doesn't work. And maybe I'm only interested in this text conversion stuff when I actually want to raise the exception. Because anything else, you know, I just don't care about these. Okay. Sorry. Oh, come on. Work with me, brain. Oh yeah, there's a new line. Yeah, technically, I mean, this should be added here because echo adds a new line by default, and that should be here as well. Fine, my bad, not a big thing. Has no attribute std error. What, another error? Yes, another error. And we want to be able to convert this. Assert string, let's just call this function. Who knows what else I do wrong here? Right, so that does work. 3.4. Good. Yeah, let's run all the tests. Let's run Flake. Of course, there's something. There's always something. Fun 58. 2 lines. Test index 674. Yes. White space. Awesome. Thanks so much for telling me all the time. I think it's extremely important because it makes everything so much better to have that, or to not have that white space there. Save a byte in the file. Finish already. Oh, there's an error. What kind of error is it? Assert push and pull. All right, that's one of these. That's one of these ones. You know, these that can happen in Python 2.7, and I'm still kind of on the edge here, and have to fix it somehow, even though I don't know why that even occurs. And they sporadically occur here, and this makes it not. This doesn't make it easier to fix this bug for good. Okay. Yeah, let's prepare the commit. And actually I want to put this into the changes as well. Index file commit now runs the pre-commit and post-commit hooks. Hooks verified to be working on POSIX systems only. That is that. Okay. Fixes which one? 81. Wow, that's a real old one. 2 years, damn it. Nearly 2 years. Well, 1.5 years maybe. Yeah. Ha! You guess not. Just only on POSIX, the test case will run on POSIX only as well. Please note that in theory, even on Windows, we will attempt to run hooks, even though I'm not sure that this will actually work. And again, I'm waiting for people to tell me that they want it, and then I can dig further and possibly implement this. I mean, I have ideas, you know, use a shell, use start as a prefix, and things should work just fine then. But you know, right now I'm not sure. I mean, I hate it if I hear myself saying that. I know that it's not implemented correctly, even though it possibly works. And well, it's just my laziness that kind of makes me skip this. But on the other hand, I was hoping to see get some hints on how Git does it on Windows, but I didn't get it. I mean, the only thing that can possibly make it work is if use shell is used. exec shell command, prepare shell command. And that's the one. Shell path if ender Windows native. Okay, that's the POSIX version. So it starts the shell, executes the command. Even that, it's not what I would expect. On Windows, you would probably want to do a start there. And yeah, I just want to re-implement it the way that Git does it. And yeah, I'm not sure how Git does it. I'm not sure how that works on... I think it works on Windows just because it has min-gw there. So it has a shell there that it can use to run this stuff. I think that's why this possibly works. But as I am in git-python, I can't assume that this stuff exists, right? Okay. So that should be fine. Let's push it. And write a little text. Now it's there. Alright, that shall be it. I think that's done. Thanks for watching. See you next time when we implement some issue